Odofo mema wakwaba edo channel ni so. Channel ni dia ni Golden TV GH subscribe like na share emfama me. Na ye ncha wono ma yemo ni tew na nsema beka yensa no ye mfi ho. Na enche bia na yenra Kennedy Agyapong anaz ni ko piem wo court wo US. Na ye de ye ni momu issue ni dida. Enam sa kwasi nyantachi former GFA president. Eni issue by anaz edi ne ho character bi information bi breba bonte ye deja wo wiase nyina na yenra Kennedy Agyapong so be ye ne de say who watches the watchman and eno so eji he ne namano so ma odi ne kopie mu court na court ne Ghana ha mutintam ya anyeye na mukopie mu US na last week ya ne beto amonte say US for judges no matams ka pudu bi dia to yenra Kennedy Agyapong so ontuama anas because we gu na anim ase na no na tena almost say ne course wo court onyina no asem wo se we court asem na anas hu che achi na na se ne hu ba be che no nyame na make an Kwaku Annan na eka Kwaku Annan yes Kwaku Annan na face oye adwuma wo the two ahisi oye adwuma wo CTV no me si feel say wa be ye gu ho no oye anas de feel a period no se hwe anas akwala na yekunu no nipa no omosi ono no wakunu no nsem wo ho me say nsem wo kan no onim say court issues de me menye lawyer ni nti no me hu se na meka no nti no de ma menye di na mentwimu nyina de machi ne room on enkohwe nsem no.
Still on the bill, are you aware that Anas Are Emiyawanas, the guy in the mask that I don't know, Anas Are Emiyawanas in the mask has taken our Ghana's justice system to the cleaners? Have you heard it? Anas Are Emiyawanas, the guy in the mask, has taken Ghana's justice system to the cleaners. If you like, let me put it rather this way. He has used them as a rag to mop the floor. Now he is in America telling the judicial system in the United States that our judges here, our justice system is not doing some fair trial. In other words, they are not being principled. Hey, are you sure? But I'm quite sure, believe that many of you might have heard the former Deputy Attorney General Alfred Tuayeboa spoke on his own friend Samson Ladi Ayenene's program over the weekend and condemned Anas very well. The fact that the US justice system cannot, will not, and may not be seen to be better than Ghana. In other words, over there, the jurors, or if you like, let me use the jury so you understand. When they are plenty, you call them jurors. Now, even there in America, the jurors are made to what? Come and adjudicate the cases not based on the law or based on the fact. They come, probably you may say, some of them may use emotions to do that. But here in Ghana, our justice system, as far as the jury are concerned, it is by law and by what? By all the standards, you know. So, we are not joking, no. But this is what Anas is out there doing, throwing dust onto our justice system. But I believe that the Ghana General Legal Council have heard all the things Anas Are Emiyawanas is out there saying. Folks, the third one on the bill is that the Frontline has secured, or if you like, we've intercepted an audio recording. And do you know what is in audio recording? The case in the United States, they are in through here too. But Anas Are Emiyawanas, together with his defense counsel, came and lied to everybody that, hey, he has secured $18 million and that they are okay. Hey, now, guess what? Anas Are Emiyawanas in the max have already put some video recording out there suggesting that the juries have given their ruling, and against the backdrop of the ruling, the case is finished. Only for us to know that shortly after that, the judge put the ruling of the juries, Kennedy Agyapong's defense counsel told the judge that, hey, my lord, judge, you cannot do this. Why the judge cannot do that? Because the jurors committed some blunt mistakes. And those mistakes they committed obviously means that they have to go back and look at it all, because in their settings, as far as the jurors are concerned, it could be that the jurors' mistakes they committed could influence the entire what do you call it? Judgment they brought. Therefore, and that is why such words like mistrial is all in the midst. And in that discussion, Anas lawyer told the judge that for this mistake is curable, and Agyapong lawyer said no, it's not curable. We have to go back again. And all this back and forth, it was a heated argument until the judge said, okay, we agree, we have to go back again. But Anas has already come out, spin their propaganda and make it look as though he has secured 80 million judgment. The question, Ghanaians, some of you out there have not asked Anas Anas, including his own friend Samson Ladia over the weekend, could not tender a written judgment to Ghanaians that in all of this that you say you've secured 80 million, where is the judge? Where is your written judgment? No, where is it? Folks, I've always told Ghanaians, do not be deceived and be carried away. But I have given my promise that until I leave, these guys are Remeyao and his crews and his surrogate will be fashion. Tonight, we are going to play this audio to you for you to hear what went on in the court. But may I also break the news to you that Agyapong's defense counsels have also mounted a spirited defense. Apart from the fact that the judge has said this matter must be looked again, the defense counsels have also mounted another spirited, motion to all sorts of. It's not going to be Anas. So those of you out there who think Anas was going to secure 80 million and come and dash you some, or he was going to prepare some tuizafi and all of that and come and bring you some to chop, I'm sorry. Please, you're going to laugh at the wrong side of your mouth. What we are learning and have come across as Anas Anas, the man in the mask, denigrating Ghana's justice system, describing them as they lack principles and fairness in their adjudication process. This assertion comes following his court case in the New Jersey in the United States. Anas, akakansembi atutututu biya de amane ya judge for ewo mem ha enko ya nipebi enso cry react on. Now, although Ghanaians have expressed misgivings about his unsavory comment, however, it is pending that Ghana General Legal Counsel will soon have to respond to this unfortunate comment of Anas Anas. Folks, asemi okoko is unsavory comments we enipa bebre twen Ghana General Legal Counsel dien no mo de ba anu ye ben no mo de be ma Anas ene ni cruise no na enya asem a emu desa system no has always not lived up to hey aremiyao and na wo na wo gina wa kasa say e dey atre your judges no any your justice system. But then again, it begs the question, has Anas received some judgment to be with Ghana in his favor before? Aremiyao he be sao ayembiao wo dia sembia koye court ha eme ye court for no a judge for no e rule e wo favor eme ne esipen ana bi nsi da yet o memu ha o enu ntina sam former chief justice o me se wo so wo muina o hawa mu bekom mo be kai sa former chief justice Georgina Wood mama Georgina Wood ehwe Ghana a judge se nim and allow Anas Anas at the mask ehwe nanim sound concern this nasty stinking stuff at the shenanim a judge for sabi ye this sika training wom atete wom for years se boni bi mpo no media e se Ghana ye trust me hwe se ayembia nso no wo asoso ne ya tentene ne no wo mo behwe na wo de atentene na to ye na ya hwe wo kwan bi se sen ene e be punish them. No Mama Georgina Wood ehwe din masai suko no ma wei. This something called Aremiyao Anas with the mask ebetra judges nenim cover nenim, and there were 3 in line and our justices were sitting there as if though our justices were not human. Georgina Wood abreso and amu reduce our justices to nothing to write home about. Look, it was one of the most saddest day in Ghana because I saw many of our judges. I spoke to many of our judges. Me investigating many of them, including Justice Akwente. Justice Akwente, yedene kowa Anas Aremi Anas eko bejira ho ka kire ne say anio just akwente kwakoji and intrios look look Mami Georgina Wood, former Chief Justice, ensured say our justices were reduced to nothing except to call it a rag to mop the floor in this country. Man fa yehwe Anas share mask ebetna ho ana eyedio pebia. Just say you gave Aremi Yaw Anas all the rope as if say na de metimi aka say na somebody Ghana man no manage. Asiafsam ni Jimmy down for this is how you reduce this country to nothing except to give so-called anti-corruption fight to this. Stupidity. I'm so angry when it comes to how you people did this. The last time, your friend is saying, a former late Professor Mills, Nini Penny be a frame your name dim command. I feel or say, so is this all about what we didn't know? NMC opening. We are my uncle. Yes. When we are there, Professor Mills. Oh yeah. Professor Mills got them Ghana Sika. Eddie Markwe Kuba Kunia Nas or Mufan Konkoye Dieben. At the detriment of what? Our state investigative bodies. Munim said Nadia Moyano, nay affront to our investigative bodies. By allowing Anas, Sanas, yes, I don't know, in his private capacity, Bonibianim. No? Bonibianim. But to give state money to announce onunkoye investigation in FEMRA. Don't you know that it's an affront to our institutions like the CID, the IOCO, the Serious Fraud Office and all, regardless of whether they are performing or they are not performing? No, it's completely untenable. But this is what Professor Mills did. I didn't think folks, and some of you know when maybe with this boy, this Aremi guy. Now, Shadia, although we didn't see one, now former Deputy Attorney General Alfred Tua Yeboah have sharply reacted to the unsavory comments of Sabahu. Asemia, former Deputy Attorney General Alfred Tua Yeboah came. A lawyer for Bebre Minu Medin Komwa in the coming days in Sembi BPP. What was that? Anna say, can I say, Mr. Justice Banso or a terrorist? Or terrorist? What is the reason why Justice Man say we a terrorist? Hey, and you mean minimum because they not me say, hey, Justice Man quit but Justice Man a release announce a terrorist. One sorry ana sabi you announce when you ni ana ni ti na nya ne fa na say no yes no there be Justice Man went through the procedure. Now Samson Ladiayenene, who is a lawyer, ought to know, no. The question will be, sir, the former Deputy Attorney General said, why Anas in right says or criticize, and therefore his criticism is going to fly on the altar of what? Miscarriage and travesty of justice. No. Anas is a lawyer. And as long as Anas is a lawyer, he should know that any ordinary person on your lawyer. Then acquire the home. But we a lawyer. Anas is a part on no call media minim. The law school no kind or coin and who some already. And now the law school so who some so say mokai ne two ye ni na pie. E who some so me kwa mejibre. Because me ka say Abranti ne na tunu na lawyer for we made studio had that. But I say me mama build that be. Folks, enti wo na wo ye lawyer no e say who say dey na na say wo catch Justice Ban. Of course we betimi akwa appeal. Yes, we a blackmailer, we extortionist. And that we a terrorist or terrorist. Are you me who be that? Journalists be any politician be any ruling case. Aman. First in our history, are you a terrorist? One call appeal. Not what you did. In the same spirit, Mr. Alfred Tua Yeboah disclosed that the dockets of the suspects in connection to Ahmed Suale's death was brought to the AG's office during their tenure in office. However, the evidence adduced to carry prosecution was weightless. Afi, former Deputy Attorney General Tua Yeboah, esa betre mu se abrante ya yede na kwatwiri mu sesi yi. Ebra na wo mu no mu abem no MPP wa abem no. The same docket eba the former Chief Justice, no, I find saying former Attorney General, no more shame, no. They just said they couldn't see evidence. No, we say emu edu. It's say no more can name him say sana. The same docket no call Attorney General. Wapamwa Alfred Tua yeboa bekan. Edani kwemu pepe on ke bi nhemu yi bi frem. Say any we are see yetna no. Now when we say na a police for ne say now Ghana for munim adie munim say ora Kennedy Agyapong police for na den any ne di nkomo wie dida. Now my question is when many Kennedy di nkomo wie no again na Ghana police for establish here on can omutimi establish say yes Kennedy you are culpable. Me person police for your homework here. Has the police said to Ghanaians say you interview Kennedy wie no Kennedy was culpable? At least Kennedy gave his side of his version. And his version of the police for him obviously could not, cannot, and may not give the police more credence to the fact he said he's responsible for the murder of Ahmed. No. So, why then it becomes this time relevant to say, Obi the picture command one, then that picture near the command that rather led to the murder of Ahmed. Eto asumani ye. It was there. Sabrantie. Aya Owusu Krantin, afi police for most or qua pendania. I didn't man fananto mo wanted list so. But would that assertion even support their claim? Wait a minute. Tonight, I want to expose the Ghana police to this. That against the backdrop of this, that the police wanting to establish the disappearance of Daniel Owusu Krantin said Daniel Owusu Krantin was nowhere to be seen, and that their intelligence led to his hideout. I really want to be decent on the police, please. But on the hand side, what you don't know is what you are spewing out there. The ignoramuses on the part of the police is what we are seeing, that the guy was at his hideout. Where is his hideout? Now let me give you some facts. In 2023, Daniel Owusu Krantin contacted the head of Multimedia Group concerning the OTC medicine seller license documentary. Ghana for me aware. Say a branch no contacting Multimedia for. At the end no person it was about the documentary na no why on. Do you know how many days, weeks, months, years or years are documentary? Now listen. In 2024, year free 2023, now 2024, Daniel Owusu Krantin in collaboration with Pharmacy Council and police 10 years, Ghana police, IGP, with respect. Makachro myself, so 1 year careful. And if baby you use our small case way, if you go IGP and must poto. In 2024, Daniel Owusu, you're free 2023, now 2024, Daniel Owusu Krantin, right, in collaboration with Pharmacy Council and police, conducted a raid at the Porals Pitch 2024 to arrest people selling unregistered FDA products. Aided the arrest of Fela McAfee for what? False advertisement and selling unregistered products. How many of you know this arrest? The arrest of wine, Fela McAfee. Afimin kasa obianko Google. The arrest of wine, Fela McAfee. Quite ben sini fast ye cheno. E abranti na modern to me. Yes, Daniel Owusu Krantin. Investigations and a leader investigations where he did it in collaboration with Wynham, Pharmacy Council, FDA, and the police. So why didn't you arrest him there? My dear Ghana police, may say go and do this exercise and come and tell the world, say whether you have the records. You see, my main contempt. Again, at a point, Daniel Owusu Krantin was to report to the Pharmacy Council over the documentary. He requested for police escort and about 5 CID operatives accompany him to the Pharmacy Council. Now, so Koshia Pharmacy Council board. And in the quest to go, he wrote a letter. I want the police to do their exercise well. My job is to prove to the police you are, just as I'm trying to quote Friends, Alfred Tue Yeboah said, "Manye careful, mobile armchair general, armchair investigations." He wrote a letter to the police, and the police gave him what? 5 escorts. Why? Why didn't you arrest him there also? In 2023, in 2024, no more year then. What was the police doing? Now me be video be achiremo. E bra CID for no escort na e dey na come on form car. Omokotu car no okon. I can only show you Daniel Quantin. I can only show you his back. He's also an undercover agent. For me, I'm also undercover. But the point is, me menimu da ho. But when me pick you now. On your screens is Daniel Owusu Quantin. Any CID for no more. Daniel Quantin or she suit no. A suit with a cap, a black cap. A black suit, a black trouser. He's the one. Oninye with a nose mask. Yes, I'm not ready to unmask him. No. Now simple or no one more rights or covenant. That is Daniel Usu Cranton on Okono. Yeah. Oh man, that's my that one Okono. Yeah, police if one did it CID for the pharmacy council. Okay. So my question to the police, where was the police investigative team? I am proving to you, and I'm telling the police, you have caught the right guy. Now, one more call pharmacy council. There are more videos I can put out there to challenge the police and tell the police that you are doing an armchair investigations. You think we are children? Please, that is the whole image called Daniel Owusu Cranton, also known as Amache, Ono Namwon. And anybody who knows Amache will tell you, I'm not lying. Ono Namwa walk on. I can only show you his back. Oyi kejetia. Investigators say, yeah, no, we are funny. Yeah, that's the guy. Hi. And the crowd that I know that there's a massive pressure on the police. I know that there's a massive pressure on Ghana police to be doing what they are not supposed to do. Now, may share further and better particulars that the police is going to adduce. In other words, to add up to what? Your evidence decree to suggest that yes, that can establish a prima facie case. Now, internet mediator and also mediator and may train say Ghana police let her know a crime team sure they come out police no mon kwahwehwe the police archive na mo hwe munya copy a munya me de mo copy ne beba me de me de ne beba na ma tre mu date and time he wrote the letter to police and the police for more granting no this adeni ye nyoma za adeni esisi ye tiase ye nyoma ensem fata me ade me tia o me wiase me pensisi o efidie so ha na me be ka chem say look obi o man na say bibia me ni nya asem pen but not because me ni nya asem ti na me besi smiti ase di asem bon no me Kwaku I'm very fair if you am beka chem say President John Dramani Mahama o embrace asofo ti say when Nigeria anyway any the other one more friends for Odin Brampo Prophet Emmanuel Bedukobi mante obi so on TV da when we say before boni ahye ma say boni ni nua no oni ne ti boni mu de ohia say de bia ni nua no be consohwem ye ntene wi asesa be fair and be just where God created us all of us equal de anya ne ka now tonight the front line has again intercepted an audio recording revealing the defense counsel for Kennedy Agyapong mounted a spirited pushback at the trial judge concerning some mistakes committed by the jurors and the jurors because omodoso and that's the plural word the jurors and the case in the JC court in the United States and me pese wutie and na me din kan ka kire on said Anas are emiyaw Anas or the maxi. Wedi kaba bontia ba me yeti ase se anyo wedi nkunim Nigeria so no aye den ama ne judgment. Na no na make actual assertion say no wait a minute don't get it twisted. As for them they believe in twist and turns and propaganda and spinning. But the truth of the matter is say a black judge ni rule jurors ni a verdict ni we pe and a Kennedy lawyer no a catch judge no you can't or catching it straight so you can't give a ruling because mistakes be akoso and some mistakes ni na koko we say as some na come trial at least Kwaku I'm not a lawyer but massa with our deep level in intelligence gatherings and investigations in MDS Anas eba be kan sa asem no wanka, but anadwi ye secure some information na me be bo akere. Me mo no video version, me bo the audio version akere. Say in video no ube hu say jurors no wom, and it's offense in the US court say ube yi video jurors no ye protect them. Anas doesn't care. On only video no jurors no mu wom, me law abiding. Nti me bo audio version ne tie nie ubeti say abrofo no ubeti Anas lawyer na e kasa. Ubeti Canada Agyapong defense counsel and also kasa slang and a Dawson, but yes ubeti ti audio ni ye ne ti asem a lawyer no or catch judge no about the mistrial case. Take a listen to this carefully.
This is what the jury said. In our initial finding, we awarded $18 million with a breakdown of presumed damages $5 million, actual damages $5 million, and punitive damages $8 million.
We're done.
No, Judge. I'm requesting a mistrial. The court to consider punitive damages in the initial, and you can't mold the verdict. I'm once again requesting a remitter based upon that, and a new trial should be granted based upon that response, Judge. They were not considered. They were outside of your. I'm just making a record, Judge. Now, if I could, those are outside your instructions. They were required to follow your instructions. They didn't follow your instructions. You're not permitted to mold that verdict because that's not form. A judge can only mold form. For instance, there's a lien, and you can mold the lien if the parties agree. You could pre-tax versus post-tax income. The judge is permitted to mold the verdict based upon the specific evidence that was presented. You are not allowed to mold that verdict. That's a remitter. There should be a new trial granted, and unfortunately, they did their job, and we should send them home.
Judge, basically, my thought is on their form, which is what was submitted to the court. It did state that it was presumed damages. On that basis, I believe that the instruction that Your Honor should send back was that the punitive damages and the actual damages were not included in that judgment.
Mr. Morrison.
I'd like to see the law, Judge. I think Your Honor is more than equipped than either of us to understand that when the jury sends that back and they haven't followed your instructions, and you can't send them back to re-deliberate, had they had that question during deliberations, you could have given an instruction, a curative instruction, and brought them in and said, punitive damages are for now to decide, just decide. First of all, there should have been actual damages because there was only presumptive damages presented. There were no actual damages. And Judge, it's just simply a mistrial. It's a mistrial. We need to go no further.
Okay, so Mr. Morrison, it's your request that we discharge the jury, right?
We discharge the jury, and you declare a mistrial. You put it back in the hopper. We'll be back in 6 to 8 weeks, either with Your Honor or another judge.
Okay, and what's your request, Mr.
My request is a curable. Is a curable error. I mean, they made a decision. Granted, it wasn't a decision supported by the instructions, but if they did come back and award punitives where they shouldn't have awarded punitives, Your Honor can correct that by curative instruction. So I don't see a mistrial here, but I leave it to your judgment, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to ask Mr. Tahir a question. So, Mr. Morrison, please don't interrupt. So, Mr. Tahir, why isn't a valid verdict $5 million on presumed damages, $5 million on the actual damages, and $8 million on the punitive damages?
I would accept that. The only problem I have is that they weren't instructed on punitive damages. So that would go outside the instructions that Your Honor gave them. Yes.
And so, Mr. Forster, you want to say?
Yes, Judge. I'll use plaintiff's argument about unringing the bell. We have no idea if the actual and presumed damages would have been different had they followed your instructions. We can't go into their mind. Once they say that, Judge, they anticipated something they shouldn't have. It's not a valid verdict, and more importantly, Judge, the rules do not permit you to mold that verdict. It's not a question. You're not permitted to now change that verdict. Now, maybe if it was a different verdict sheet, things would have been different. If it was broken down separately, they would have had more clarity. But they didn't. But Your Honor is not permitted, once you find that out, to do anything else but cause a mistrial, because that verdict has been returned and it cannot be cured. You cannot go back and have them reconvene.
Well, Judge, this all boils down to Mr. Corriston's own insistence that we take punitive damages off the original verdict sheet. If you remember what I did, I put it on the second page, and then we had a break saying return to. So I think if they had the original verdict sheet, they would have recognized that they weren't supposed to go beyond the compensatory. But somehow he insisted that we take it off the verdict sheet completely and have a separate verdict sheet. And this is what has created this problem. It's curable, at least I think, but I leave it to your judgment, Your Honor.
Okay, the court's decision is we are going to bring the jury in, we'll discharge the jury, and then we can keep talking.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, please bring the jury in.
What's here? Mami say na. Did you see? Did you hear? What is the judge? What's it? As my judge in the kind. Nyame na me kasa. Ubia ankasem. Anas ankasem ubi. Kennedy Kwame Akumpre kon ankasem ubi. Obia ankase. Ghana ni bia ankasem bi. Anas ankasem bi. Oh. And Anas Defense Council. Any Kennedy Kwame Akumpre ko Agyapong Council. Any judge no mudra ho dia sie ni. Now what's the Kennedy Agyapong Council na catch the judge no. Also what? You cannot move this verdict. You cannot move this or kasa kire judge no. He we ni break kwan so. It's about the saying and na mo be gina Ghana ha. E ka kire Ghana for say hey munya verdict and that $18 million. Ye be chase came obi anya bi edi. Ye be $18 million. Obia enya bi edi obia benya bi edie ye de bi be wo fufuo di bia wo aye tuo za afiade na ne kire ye ba be breaking fasting di bia wo tuo za afi di bia bo apesie fufuo nom ne ade ye gugugu so nom ne didi ne anom. Why not? But asem na ntesa enti ade na mu be twa ntro. That you know what? Anas Defense Council me papa na sempa he speaks so well, very constructive, very very good. Or you're very nice man. Me penasem the lawyer, yeah. Me kasentiano. Oh yeah, but I think say, Sadia or yeah too fast enough. No be spinning around. Says no. When in the Caribbean church says judgment, suppose judgment, written judgment in our hinfa. Well, folks, the lawyers for a year, friend is saying, Abrante didn't aquatrimi. Daniel Owusu Cranton, also known as Amache, Womo Studio, they will join me shortly. But before, my young Humanasuna Mene, Director of Research of this program, also an on person may expose it, BB. Our Humanaso, nearly name Komani and said, Adia Nas who call ye Ayetia, ye justice system, no, saying so far, your research analysis, ye new lawyers be akasanimia, ye the better to be enche. How so far the build up and the and not Kofi Drew is on the line. Kofi Menwajo. Now, what is saying? Ah, okay. Me hane de Mahama ne Professor Jane na no puku ajima ne yetem so a. Good. All right. Now, Kofi, and somebody I mean say wait bia. But most especially only ye show ne Wednesdays will be basso. Now, and then we want you to stay on so far the research away on the ground with respect to Anas taking our justice system to the cleanest. What have you uncovered so far?
So far, no. When it comes to the judicial service now, a lot of practitioners are not happy. Legal brains, they are not happy with the system. Once in the judicial day, at what point in time? Now, so who there? Oh yeah, judicial service no. Who do sometimes on your face?
Yeah.
Was it the time now? Come on and continue. You know who there when you face?
And Grofona come out there in Ponche.
Oh, what's more point? Just some more point more using that.
That's right.
Good fight all man continue so bye that's why you wasn't really and you all sorry. Was it that time in period? You know who there? When you I sometimes on your face. Another the time now on your continuity no home. Another the time of the terrorist. At what point? That's one question. Again, the same system of condemning for the person that made me a lawyer. So again, what the BBC and also on the ground in the day is announcement that Ghana having a court case. A very sporty case now for America and I will be to Ghana. Because service left on your baby. Sometimes the flaws are doing. If you say a case, different about. These are kind of questions on the ground. And then other lawyers who want to win Babanazi. But kind of question one question and you want to and the man now why you know Yada, every day, will be Ghana, then cost us in movie. Will be court in movie. But to that, same court, my own IC. But take things down more than the city. You got that.
Kofi, there's some noise or background in it. Terrible noise. Yeah, we're getting a feedback. Okay, to us, Kofi,
hello, yeah.
Yes. All right. So to us,
now, make us say, per the research kakra, yeah, no. And I said, into what you come fancy, and then any number of flow pa. Research kakra, yeah, interviews the kakra, yeah, no. Some of the legal, brains and you want to say, no, I'm putting any baba camera. And also, they didn't want audio as it. No moment was off record info going yanka, we can still give it out. If you are working a day, no problem at what point in time. And at last, I remember you and us, who there, who do sometimes, Ghanaian court system, one shut down your face. Only the period that no champion, another time when you question the court, more who the who do baby court system, one your face. Another time, work at a terrorist, and who the sana, one your face. The same system now, so according to some of them, made him a lawyer. The same system now all condemning. It's at the end, one guy did this question there. It is a nice case for Ghana. But about Ghanaian court are all condemning. Another was there where's 40 case for America. That's one question I did say. Now, me face I also make a very important point today. In that case, now last point here by there. Court system, it has not always been, it has not always been fair, It will mean that the case is not an we deal with it, from the time I know and now I be seen them. We still walk back, watch the Nimialim one by one, because this and that bring out a very, very important point. Their court system, Odu baby on Sada and Yafe, to the extent that they even failed to deliver judgment on his case. Man, then son come on us, Osan and Saka. Into in that case, no, they are planning there. I mean, they will push that agenda. Every case now, and ask Lankasano. Why, you know? Because of the concern, they have to go back to it. Because a lot of people have lost their lives, their businesses, and other, things. It's you bringing this concern.
Yes.
These are some of the things that we've been working. So,
Sweetheart.
some of the things that got there in
Okay, yeah, Kofi.
Yes.
I'm not just. Yeah, sorry. Me break it. Now, so far, what then we are getting from Anasa, Obi Beka, so maybe a little pain. Just as it was court in the assembly year man in tea. You say, oh yeah, terrorist. Now terrorists, they what to whom abakwa some or memo has a journalist, politician, businessman, a man of God, any you really say. Just say, would you therefore suggest, because that ruling from Justice Bano was quite harsh, and that could infuriate Arame out to say, I knew, because you say, or a terrorist or terrorist, whichever way you call it, and Emma Okekan say.
You see, that could be a key factor, I know. But bear in mind today, and I'm not seeing Angasado. You see, I'm look power. The Ghana football Kwaku Annan, no, yes, small. Unfortunately, the way yet to we are seeing, especially in this country of ours called Ghana, no.
Yeah.
Me impeding because I'm reading. Facebook and other social media platforms, you put no headline and I start to insult. Even program here, just go beneath. Not insult to be or just headline our piece of view of one word be financial. When you the jido about into detail. But one thing people must understand this. Them and Yama Nas the young for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Them how did they feel?
How did they feel?
Baby friend or this or that. And I will be KJ baby because of my Nasi into them judge or evil and a damn judge or today or to them. I'll call judge anything. But in this case, a nurse no too much for Pena, Kwama Kakato, about Justice Binding. Do you know what you've done to him? Oh, sometimes when it comes to matters relating to an answer, it be no me again them. So saint so I do not need the saint and us. Because maintain maybe I say when it comes to this country, when you be like you people are one the day not I think dear no ever could be JD. Even when you are presenting evidence, go to program is say comment session we say bring the fact is very very usual. So by our nature the way we think and the way we are brought up, oh my name may do or Ghana ha or but then for that word now, what the man now know why you yo, my name do. Emma waka kade young judicial service or today no. For me no. Osedan Ankasa put me issue statement, not to me, because what I would have expected him to say case nam di fi Ghana hamdo kweno. It was not deliberate friend the Ghanaian court system. No, far from that. I respect them. But what really happened there? Kennedy na mimi asamono. Eho no kaka asamono. That is why anam do mamoko. It was not because the mumbu yan court system mubu court na pa. Nemu baby okeja okaka asa no say moko am kaka mo ba ye chinebi. Kennedy in America conquer England and on another state be and country be. Na so son kaka nsem bi dem ho. Nti moko na so we stop no ho at least no but when that's to kono akasa and what kibibia from one sebio oseroiden original. This is how he was supposed to have presented the thing. Abeton if you need that she win him as a white so be a movie series. Never go back there Ghanaian court system no on your papa sometimes no I cannot papa you quoting as well. Do the baby one shut down here fair. At one point in time I want to say window on your fair. What point in time? So these are the things that I believe we should be looking at.
Great, but then quickly before you go, would you again also raise some fundamental aspect of say Anas Kriya so den Sembia ko our justices justices ninim MNC ruling man, including say your former Chief Justice Theodore Wood, enim eno try o ye nneoma we na e wo memu obi ankasa o e ma judge for enkrofo papanam enkrofo kunom enem ne ade ye ma na ase kwan e ma ye de obi na na eno nso where was then the justice system, the Ghana General Legal Council, there will be in raise a word. Nobody cough a breath or cough anything. And also, that kind of saying, what do you make of that?
So, I'm looking there. Perception, you want thing.
God.
Ghana Corona, a woman. I don't my Ghana ha. Both parties are seducing some people and this autumn. What for Ghana and Domun? What do you want other what pay behind? Because I know ye nkofubia ye peye na menhwe ne yembonsim eye na mehwa ne menwaji memehu na mamatno. But you don't believe in going beyond the evidence sometimes to try to understand certain things. To a long run ebe no na innocent person go je baby no onyo bi anke man not na she baby. Now these judges here and ask the one cover all this situation in me. Obi anyo waka one word did a judge be. Most of kejetia most of your stroke in your stroke. But a long run, American, the legal counsel no. In you may be a while. Now Usudan can kaway and Obogu. And this thing, just as you said, started with President Mills the time. How dare a whole commander in chief, a whole security team never work for private investigator and undercover guy there, uncle. No co-investigation, Kofo. What do you think you are doing to your own security team? It's at that point now, can they feel it a big?
I see.
It's, one question, Kofo will be said, Nana, the question of this powerful. I will be needing Uncle Fu.
You think that we made him so powerful to some extent?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We did it. And in Ghana for 9 years, especially by that era, that administration. And I remember the Ramonacha Crown at one point in time questioned that in there. Why do we say why then? What sponsor said that? Because we can't do that. We have a security, we have security team. It's a parade today. Adibiana Ghana Hayawa Biano Papa. And if you got to create a man, so Bibio Ghana Hadia Papa. The idea of employing his services against the military intelligence, the NIB or BNI, the CID, SF, all these intelligence agencies in Yano. We for private person meant that Wayankofa and Jumundi. And interestingly, who did an investigator at the time? Customs, another security agency. So from that point, Aquano one or be a powerful word most next time. I mean, like masking and or any motum do commerce one day. MPP time go for the time, but she must the same thing, but the Ketsna or friended. Nana do name. How? Oh, do baby call a court and now I in Trinity, God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Where it then whom Obia or ye an ass Nankasa. And
this kind of jokes were entertained by the state apparatus, including the commander-in-chief of the security service. Now, I want to crown commander-in-chief in the crown. Everybody doing too much. How about the chief justice at the time? How about the judicial service themselves? Yeah. I wouldn't even brown. How? They have catch them there. You put the same to me Trinity. What done young coupon? God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. No Abba. No, everybody beating in the and a document saying this or say, no, fancy for a Kovi. I feel me move for want of time into but quickly, the guy Amachi now incarceration. You know Amachi well. As a security expert, what do you make of CIA didn't treat me? And then the evidence police are due suggests that okay, or the picture come out Kennedy and I feel so Yehunwe area how he fled. So fled, the word fled means to say normal so I don't know. And then to his place of abode in Amazon. So far, what have you gathered behind all of that of what the police is, putting across? Does that build enough opinion for she? Excellent question. And I'm so glad this question has come up. Let's look at this whole thing. Fair now, police say, evidence or your friend, I think chats be
he can be placed at the scene or at the vicinity at the time of the crime. Fair enough. Again, we believe you today, and it's not the pictures, but the mark can. Fair enough. Question today. The hit no called or yeah, Madina, woman, you female.
Good.
It was not a one-man job. From witnesses, no. It was more than one, either 2 or 3. Them call no kept all where them hits, no. As watching for one. We to market there. It's true. At that time, na amachi, no waha, no jinaha, no jinaha, no jinaha. What should be my madam confession now?
Okay.
No. When to be again. Them ain't look at the pictures now. Amachi adema keno. Pictures no say yesterday you got pictures anymore. Before I'm about to do as to whether I true that the man and one farmer no. Yeah, let's look at the pictures idea.
Okay.
Second, pictures not be TV doing tea in the Wukwa bench now. Again, watch the suspect to be in my work there. Oh, are you true there? Pictures now. I match the mum. And not what the man can, and I cancel the mum. And my source is a chap that Amache was the one of the man.
Okay.
And you see, Muslim do do
the chronicle
like that.
Yes, the chronicle. Okay.
Okay. Now, when you tell me again there, all evidence now another chat no will place the guy at the crime scene now. My job fair enough. But can you place a gun in the guy's hand at the scene with the same evidence? So if you can all these answers in here, no. Mean say again, what could be undercover guy? Undercover does not mean to cover your face. Kwaku Annan, this is what you used to do. You put the same you winning at the out. I want to hear him.
Yeah.
Ghana, I want to say.
Anna's not DP or the meaning Pian.
Yes. At the time, no Ghana will be a Kwaku Annan. I want now. No one knew, no behind you, Kwaku Annan.
And people don't know this. People don't know this history. Yes.
Yet, what when him back out, we should do an Okuma.
No.
It's a bit of a gotcha there. What will be the picture that out because of that. The sister Yancho Biala. I'm a impeding brain now on because even so be back out back there. Okay, may confess that are true. The I'm matching Osman Damike cry. That confession will say there. One, or you'll be our force and our bribe no Madam confess. We have to even authenticate that thing. We have to look at it. We are talking about murder case here. Ask me, I say. So there are so many variables as far as this thing is concerned now. Muhawa, why arrive at much also when you too. And I mean, who evidence over to my cast because I can okay because of the chat no at the time now I didn't see no or area where I know my been some more can they damn the Jumano as say we do a bit of bush. No, I live by the new you 50 we soon him all about you about him. I go about you now why I show no bush all about what you do. I been to Andrew that bank company no deal or tram no honor all about the I need a joke I work. Now, party as a the evidence can place him at the scene. What makes you think that at the time maybe I don't care any BB or in this okay any BB because of say you do book into the matter come on or a prophet who do book of you or
God.
And now can they also get us conversation or there between Ahmed and Paddy? BB called do one thing or there Paddy or like what catching doing your Paddy or book. No evidence be adam, but police into maybe
good one.
And the meaning there so back there a picture so the camera can mean how I established the madino.
Okay.
But they don't be
God. Very well, good delivery. Kofi, you do be serious because the build up now shas here. Now,
all right.
You be jam work because there's still other things we are away na minya na konafi. Yen twas was studio said then we touch this. Great now. And not Kofi Ejiri, of course, is the director research of this. Last on the bill, folks, tonight I have in the studio the lawyers of Daniel Owusu Cranton, also known as Amache. Their lawyers are in the studio, and I'm going to have exclusive one-on-one with them. Why their client is still in incarceration. Folks, all this and more coming. Folks, let's get started. And I do a higher shit. I grow deep in Hakurao. Say, And I dream somewhere you be the home common bear me and send nine. You bet you need now so come fast at the amount. And they said, "Dear kind." Abrantia Yaboni Dean. Yes, so no, and no responsible for Ahmed Suale anyway, Daniel Owusu Krantin, also known as Amachi, or Shems is here, a week near ne, and you didn't call court. And a judge in a share ruling or share, saying, or share, kind of simple, or share charges, not charges, and just oh, who do on your but as long as I acquire to say, oh, and a was seminum, the judge exercise discretion, the Enfa Branton Okotrim, the Enfanimra on the 1st of April, which is just a couple of days to come. Now, and one beasa, but Anadri, you were the lawyers of wine, Daniel Cranton in the studios. You know, be exclusive one-on-one. A mube sheriff. But before Bebana, Yanka say a build up neighbor. And no exclusive one-on-one with the judge, with the lawyer, you be sure once. A biom. Afi anas are emi yawa anas a mask shenim. At the Ghana, our justice system no, or do we to form iron passa can somewhere and says or conform. Then we name say what? They be bena you know, be na mont nothing shadi being who said no, ora. I didn't know where I then aremi a bit me call American memu. Eko gu ye judges in any say all because there was a judge here. I have friend Justice Ban, and I remi out. Eddie Kennedy Agyapong court or ruli sa cases. Some obianim. Justice Ban or say in his judgment, which there are copies all out there. Estate said, Anas aremi you anas, or you then, or you extortionist, or you blackmailer, and then I think also then or you terrorist. So I word me the baby was said I'm born. If you born a terrorist. If you born a terrorist, terror and arrest. Nyamena mekai o judge ne ka oni ruling him. No. Anas arem you anas entumi anko Ghana court. Anko defend no hom anko ye say oba abede ebesiki what's the word crampo? Say or I don't know which word. No wa behwema sa asem no. Say bia oba court for review and abibisa no. And they say onya chance o di copy America because Kennedy koye interview bi o nti. Of his obeying their call. A random many free. Maintain say a politician, a businessman, a journalist, or software, whoever. You really assembly to no suma judge him. Even though me I admit that so Justice Ban ruling one. For me, I think I mean not to impugn any negative, but it was very harsh. A harsh and so Justice Bano wan hwe so wodi asem ati anaso o hwe nsem ni nya dapono so pepepepepe ene wodi asem no but the question is ebisa ne say anas arem you anas no odi ono di asem ne call say yegu no hu fi no e dey ben circumstantial evidence ben odi koto o ma judge ne say obi egu no hu fi to therefore ye ni asem ne ma no eno so ye key ono ani videos bi kwa ebisa ne so onfemra on for region ba we timi afamba folks. But when someone wabeka a fear or the begu your justice system no and mami ken Ghana's former Attorney General Alfred Tua Yeboah were responding to some of them very serious. Memwati and a dream. A biom ye train Ghana General Legal Counsel for minimum mate. As to say you keep quiet over this or you react, we are waiting. A biom as someone that punusu biom ni saying. As someone at that New Jersey court between Anas Aremiyao and Kennedy Agyapong, Mami breaking news in Mama Nadri case ni ewie. But who say Anas yentem eba bedi assembly hu commodity chire Ghana for so case ni yedi ewie na yedi ewie a judge na award $18 million their man folks tio Anas the video be abeto abonte sa video no de buy na pe. And when we, you see, announce me can't Ghana for whom person will be a tiasamase. The entire team of Aremi Anas, they believe in what you call propaganda and spinning. They can spin and spin all around. Now, two, because they've secured access to many of the media houses, including the social media, and they have what it takes. You secure who we today. A buyer no matter to go into all this video ne buy no. On my Ghana for name was so. Including Onwani Defense Council over the weekend, including last week, Nina, didn't come over other stations say, oh, we may secure judgment in Navy. But ne lawyer na ntimi anka nkyerɛ Ghana for say no you secure that judgment na where is the written judgment assembly ye di wia there is a written judgment where is it one fair no ama but when ma there secret a woman say ebra omu wie na judge na wo new Jersey one or rule or they the offense saying offense sample what do you call it juries no verdicts in the buy no and a Canada Japan's defense counsel sorry no catch and say no you can't or judge nim catch and say you can't give a ruling on this case. Why? Because jurors now your mistakes be as mistakes no and you're very fundamental and crucial to the ruling. Therefore in American system and he consistently look at the judge no judge no strict he say you can't do this asimo catch no afi announce lawyer no sorry I say oh mistakes no we and a curable no and you curable we have to go back and look at the issue again afi na judge ni jira na muni ma dear ni na ko wie ya announce lawyer no would have to eat a humble pie no be ja to me say yes they should go according to what the judge is saying show no mo be dia tro atre Ghana for say $18 million no monsaka mo be chiche scheme obi enye biedie wo mo de wo de bebo apesie wo mo ekwakoye tueze afi eja ye be breaki kan Ramadan wo mo be ye tueze afi nem ne ade wo mo nso e be wo fufuo guso nam da so nem ne ade nem be didie no eranam anadwe wo ho ye secure eniema bi na wonim video na announce mo de be tu dwa no wo be hu say juriors no wo mo video no now it is offense to the United States justice system they say obey juriors no wo presence in camera no until we have obtained that video but I'm sorry say yentimi yi sa video minimum enkomo no judge no any lawyers ni mienu no edi no we have everything and now some de omo de ne beto na juriors no omo ye the air cancer for which is also another offensive to the justice system in the United States. Random. And somewhere about Anadri, but Anadri exclusive one-on-one with Daniel Cranton, the lawyers, I will studio her. MP. Now, what was the police if one say Amachino, he was running in and out, hiding there. But tonight, I'm asking Ghana police, is Ghana police aware? Say, you ready? Abrante Amachi, he wrote a letter to the police and Ghana requesting what? Requesting police escort. At the time of Orie, the investigation, undercover investigation, our pharmacy cancer, Ghana police, are you aware? Have you gone to check your records? So the question is, this is a guy who allegedly you claim say no kumobi anyway, but the same guy has been here several years. The documentary I played a role in that documentary. And 2 documentaries, and why 2 documentaries, Ghanaians, documentary wabe in Baku led to what? The arrest of Arabia Feno, Makafui Mukaino. There's a lady called Makafui. Go and Google the lady called Makafui. Makafui Arabia, all ton unregistered drugs, any medicines. Food and drugs for any day and certify. One more arresting Accra more here. I wasn't part of that exercise, but I was monitoring everything. Pharmacy there, Kokoye, I knew everything what was going on. And some of the video no come out multimedia for so me. Yes. When my organization, the Hawk Investigation Agency, documentary on Kutu Champion, Joy FM for the year, and then CCTV. Na me private TV, online TV, and it's ye. Yeah. So honestly, we are not the majority for some musumu to me. And a pharmacy council for the injunction betoso. But there was a meeting on the pharmacy council for echo. He wrote a letter to the police, and the police gave him 5 CIDs, five CID officials. And this is a guy you've been looking for all this while, and you are telling me, sir, the guy was running away and hiding. Folks, and I agree on. And your mammy be group no son. That's why I made here. Respectfully, I have spoken to some hierarchical of the Ghana police. Now na asɛm a meka kyerɛ mu yi wɔn sɛ Kwaku me customer nipa mfa asɛm bi a meka ona wo de fa ne sɛ yɛ agorɔ wote wa na bɛhu sɛ ho nsɛm ayɛ den adedi and wɔn sɛ a couple of months ago I was discussing an issue to do with Kwanya MPP time the National Security Organization from the Signals Bureau. The Signals Bureau, Bonia, the former National Security Coordinator, on no mudi ye Kwaku on this bureau for ni di including eavesdropping on people's conversations. Timokaya, there was a man there, me yini picture show me a friend wine. Edu Boahin, Mokaino. He was the director of it, and the matter say a channel. Monfa ne pechamra. Monfa Edu Boahin pechamra. And then he's been arrested. Samate. Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine, Papa, me yini picture anjremo. Me yini picture chere Ghanaians. Na me catch him say, Bonia, womu die wo ho. Only the former National Security Coordinator, Bonia womu die no. That's Asembeba. And the moment say he's been arrested. Yes. Oninye. Ora Edu Boahin Oninye. He was the former director of Signals Bureau. And the assistant Bureau of Communications or Dieben. Mo de Ghana for they be ampeni for most senior. And then he's been arrested. Catch him say Kwaku Annan, you were telling a lie. Me say this man has been arrested. And then me arrested. Go and read. Mo bebrebe na moto na mabona ye customer unhia de nimhwe unima de no bi beton no painstaking koye exercise na obekacha na woto na okeka nkwase asam Jimmy what dwini nya adwumanti na mo kasa and you think say if you want to hail Anas ami Kwaku I care who cares allow me to do my job go and follow your Anas and allow me to do my job if you want to hail even breathe from Anas breath I don't give a hook allow me to do my job Namunyan kwa siasemni Jimmy na madwena ya mosano meyama nyomanda ho Ghana obi amomra so nobody like Dominic Ayine said today nobody is above the law so why do we allow some few people to become Frankenstein monsters in the country telling all of us all the foolishness and the nonsense in this country what the hell ade yare ba no unya tumia matumi ni magana fo nya ho faso Anas aremi Anas yemi say edwuma biara oso yema Ghana obi ko question say emfaso be na Ghana nya tell me about the anti-corruption absolutely rubbish ede emfaso no nya bibisa mo emfaso be na Ghana yenya Professor Mills emma ni sika so onko tema port non ko investigations e port and yemi say port corruption that so cost and say corruption cost I think say it is rather at its worst peak ana corruption is easier now. And so says he can say about the bottom. And umponi he was being accused oh we is investigation. Nipa ni bebre obi accusing so oyi nipa ni be free. True or false? I don't know. No pen that will be yano. Anas was also accused to have done investigations on Ghana's legislative house, parliament. And also Mumi says and the question some investigation. Did he do any investigations? Or no pen obey to me here. Oh yeah, didn't in some investigation. Parliament, the one farmer. Something went on, and one farmer and I said, I don't know. One day I'll be catching him. And Sana Charles Wagus, Akufo-Addo cousin, Charles Wagus, who was also the former board chairman of National Communications Authority. Any former deputy finance minister, a friend of mine, Charles Edu Boahin, women are no more video. Why I say or separatist that video, not the Charles Edu Boahin one day the Babonte, and no any leading to Charles Edu Boahin's dismissal. Onyankopon na God, he's not asleep, but the reality that we ye biara we numa be di wechi. Obonya would di biara me say be di wechi. And I want to me see Ghana for MA say, would you sell right? No, won't me yes other. Now righteousness ben. Righteousness ben a wunimu. I don't hear any more or memusa. Ghanaians, are you aware there was a musician in this country, as a musician, on no born you me a friend there by why, Moka is annual. Munimno. MC Munim's guy. There by why, Moka is annual. God. Munkobisa Anas are eme yawanas with the face mark say day and honest Abranton or ye ma Branton ye chino. This boy, me nim how I may read the story. I don't know. Mokai, there by wine, Munkobi San said, come back soon and fast where you cheat that guy. Moonin baby, I chino. He was arrested at La Palm Beach Hotel. There by wine. Yeah, I won't tell you the story. Go and find out. Now, Ubi said, DNA leading to that. Anas, Aremi, Anas. One of his surrogates, I a friend of Kwatin or Smanama, only be in coma. Obe recording some stupid video on better abundance and me on the bribe at this boy Kwatin was working at Henfa Labadi Beach. Nebra Kwatin be yes I exercise with me we no or na me chere tie guys I remember Kwaku ba ku na train you. I was with Kwaku, I was with Crusading guy. Yen na ho na ne wo onye smart in Chiobia. Don't go there. Don't stop this your rough and this your stupidity kind of. And I gave them a run for the. I investigated Kwatin, all to know where Kwatin was living. Kwatin was just living behind Osu Cemetery. He was just living behind Osu Cemetery. Munkobi sa Kwatin said, "My many fear." Kwatin who him, he was shivering and as if so unquestioned from them. So look at you. I obtained all his pictures. So look at you. Anas is using all of you. Man, careful. Obibe rough. Anas virtually risked the lives of these boys. Just like that. The same Kwateno, Ekokopie, Obinima, sorry, Obinim didn't start to say, no, or two or show Obinime. Maybe video not know why I'm mobile. And then Anas Ababe dinner, I said, or new Obinimusha, or Dibika Babe dinner. Sa Kwatin was working at La Palm Beach. And when I investigated, and then me who said Kwatin, hold on, I went and informed why the La Palm Beach force a Monsake boy, and they sacked him. Person, patrol. We know. Tidia Memekano say, I had here or a spokesperson, okay, or the spokesperson for the man in incarceration. And see, Yaneneba Bedin Komo and Mammy Moniting Emma Joan Markin. Me bonus any okay one.
There be Patrick Emma Jean Markin.
Emma
Jean Markin.
What's it? I say Emma Jean Markin. What's a marking now? Then again, you're beginning to hazard a guess somehow. Folks, Madam Markin, what's saying?
Mehoye.
Good.
Now, say.
Mr. Mehoye Pa. Good. Now, yen to me say, a match on our year, Nekasama for any Obusiani na way of spokesperson, right?
Patron.
Good. Sabri or a police for them.
Patron.
Yes. Now, my tougher crab, but the tougher man. The copy who now so far Magada could lead this or police for instance. Now and your man say free Muhoban so say the general police from the Nakoshim and Yene Cressa. Take us through some of them.
Bet me kind of brofo.
What kind of brofo training now?
Yeah, okay. Me mix it.
Yes.
I was a year 15th March.
Yeah.
Me were one of friends say police action. And I'm besides.
That's just about a week ago.
Exactly. That was last week Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And I'm besides. Why have I've been to watch? Then he said because they say I have a hand in Ahmed Suale's murder. Oh, no me bohu.
Oh, okay.
Now me say okay. Merba, unknown zikan merba. Timekwe, we interrogation kakra. I mean, about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Yeah, no so. Were detained. No was no shame. Monday, of course, as usual, if you're not ready to process him for court, you expect the grant in a bail. It's you drew her Monday, no interrogation, as in we're granting a bail. You drew outside neighborhood curiously, no, about an hour in before we came out. Multimedia article be. Exactly. Okay. One published article calling the man a fugitive of justice, calling him the key suspect in the murder of Ahmed Suale. I mean, so many things. And I said, what is going on in this country? We are in the process of assisting the police.
Yeah.
Even though you may be a suspect at the time, your job at this time is to assist the police.
Yeah.
So why would this article come out And why would anybody say that he was a fugitive of the law? Because we all know he's been walking around here. So what is going on here? It's the following day, what's him presenting? Now, when you more interrogation. Of course, after the article, no, it went viral. Obia Rekanwasim. And he said to me, "Oh, Emma, now I'm known as a murderer."
Oh.
And I felt very bad. So we came and presented ourselves to the police the following day. We were in the process of interrogation when we were told that the IGP was calling us. We went after the brief meeting. We were told that he was being detained and was supposed to be arraigned before court the following day.
I see.
Which was a shock because it just was strange to me. So that is what has brought us here. We went before the court and he was remanded.
I see.
Till 1st April.
I see. And today is say 1st April the Messiah court judge in Nimbio.
Right.
I see. Now, I feel and the question say wabe documentary binimni all in the previous, because then the police is also asserting so now or fly in and out, not just no stable. But then again, what we also learning is say, oh, what be documentary be near even together with the police near them. So then what it means he's come to stay here or he's been in town all this while. Can you confirm that?
He lives here. He lives here. He's always in and out of my office, in and out of his lawyers' offices. He's in and out of everywhere. So we were surprised. How is this man a fugitive? Last year, Poriel's pitch. He did it with Ghana Pharmacy Council, the FDA, the police themselves.
And I made the coach McCaffrey.
There be a good park, no. Dorsey Boating.
Oh, okay.
Mitch Brothers, a massive raid, no.
That's right.
Yes, and before that, Fela McCaffrey, she was also apprehended. Before that, I mean, so many things. Licenses for sale.
Yeah.
Tramadol documentary. All these things have been going on.
Tramadol documentary.
You know, there were two.
Yeah.
One was before, was in 2019. I think the other one was the following year. So I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised. And when I listened to
Etua
Yeboah, he said a docket was presented. And he looked at it and realized that there was not enough evidence to proceed. So he said, go and do further investigations. So at which point did this man become a fugitive of justice or a fugitive of the law? At which point did it... and you see, it's baffling. It's baffling.
During the era of NPP, no, what more the assembly command attorney general and so on.
Nobody. I mean, we've never heard. This is the first time we were hearing it from him.
I see. Now, looking at all the issues so far now, Abano, Sir Mosha, do you munya atinkebi essence say either say the former boss or any year is trying to cover up something by way of say or no ma adena beyetis or no modeshi and or share adenechi no teach all of that munya atinkebisa. Do you say something?
Mano, I don't deal with suspicions.
Okay.
But what I can say is that it's the narrative that was given to that multimedia released into the public. It was very similar to the charge sheets. So who was releasing that thing on Monday?
Yeah.
Who wants to push that narrative when nothing like that has happened? You understand? So it's curious. Everybody will be wondering what's happening. This man is here. When did he become a fugitive? Why is the narrative the same between the charge sheet and the article that multimedia released? Then it's a bit worrying. It's a bit worrying.
There's also another information here, and also is here that Ahmed Suale was killed on the 16th of January, right? 2019. At the time, you know, not only Ahmed in terms to saying before Ahmed be on the 16th. what is it that Namunim say not only Ahmed in terms to say?
No, you're fine.
Do you also know, say, Omumi no more age more, friend is saying, the Thai guy, and then at a point, or no modestia, no, Aquasino, or resign if you ho, and Ahmed no so if you ho. Then this are feud in the by, if you recall.
Well, according to Daniel, what happened was he was not happy with his treatment, and then he left. He left. He was not concerned about anything that happened there. He just wanted to build his life again.
Okay.
But anything that went wrong in the Tiger Eye, he was always accused of it. Later on, we see in text messages that Ahmed was telling him, "I have resigned."
I see.
So Ahmed was also saying he was unhappy because he felt unappreciated, and some people will have the guts to talk to him anyhow.
Yeah.
So the two of them at some points had all left. And he also went further and said, if he were to talk, the whole Ghana will shake.
That's Ahmed, you know.
Yes, and the other one is also accused of releasing information. So to me, I'm looking at information.
I see.
But it could be information from anywhere. I'm not trying to point fingers at anybody.
Yeah. Now, yeah, sure. My main kind of way say, in October 2024, Daniel wrote a petition to the Director General CID, which was delivered personally, and he made a second visit to the department.
Yes.
So the way, not police for what's our record winner. Where then again the police will come back and lay another charge of say murder was the case. Try to correspond. Make a correspondence.
Because if the person is in your corridors making applications, asking for investigators, how can he be a fugitive of justice? How? And at which point did he become a fugitive of justice? They need to clear out a lot of things. Because if you are saying you took phones for forensic, FBI, it means you are doing a lot of detailed work. So if you are doing detailed work, you cannot come out and say that this man was a fugitive of the law when he's in plain sight for all of us to see. You can see him in the video doing his swaggish moves.
Yeah. This is we confirm it's on black now. I see. Good. He's marking some swag there. Good one. Now, I said we boss and the son of family, no, I mean the entire family, me papa, and then the four and all of that. How are they taking it?
Everybody is heartbroken. Everybody is wondering how this happened. Everybody is surprised. Some people are in a rage. They want to do so many things, and I said, let's just calm down and then take things as they come.
We are aware, say, in 2022, the same Amache, also known as Daniel Kwantini, wrote to the vice president at the time about this sale of the counter OTC medicine seller license. Or show the command vice president about this to bring the vice president's attention to this, and he got a response. We are aware of that.
We are aware. We were copies now.
Okay. Would you support the police with all of this? We say, including writing a letter to the second gentleman of the land, and then if he's then somebody responsible for murder, how would such a person take such a move?
To me, I don't think. Well, my impression is that they were not looking for help from us.
Oh, okay.
That is my impression, because it was a narrative. Hey, have you been to Medina? And you live in Medina? Do you know the family? It's like pushing a certain story. Nobody was really asking us, opening up the information for you to even be saying, okay, well, this is like this or this is like this. Maybe you should look like this. I mean, we were ever ready to help with whatever information. And you know what is curious? He was actually talking with I think one officer from the cold case unit in the past.
Yeah.
Giving information, they will ask him questions, he will give answers. So I'm surprised that there's a narrative that he's a fugitive.
I see. So then that brings me to Adewe's Ghana Full Anim. Say, in April 2019, Daniel Cranton released his first documentary which he had been working on since 2019 concerning the wrongful use of tramadol, which was also being aired on ETV GH, GBC 24, and Sparkle TV. Still in 2019, he was set to release the part 2 of the tramadol documentary. However, then to make a travel to his wife in UK, and then came back where the COVID-19 hit him. Can you confirm this? Or yes, or take his assignment away?
I see. There's evidence all over the internet. Evidence.
And can the police ask for, and then that would again build much for the police? The guy is not a fugitive as they.
The police doesn't need to ask for this. It is in plain sight. All you have to do is just go online, put his name, you see it, everything. So I'm just surprised at this whole thing.
What will be the new thing? Ebusian for no mobile boama lawyer for no. Etimia build up. Then the friends that are coming 1st of April now mobile court on ebetimia convince judge. Say judge, we say. Quite apart from the media putting all the things out. Then ebusian for so more their lawyers.
And I say, we are putting all our efforts together. Some of us are investigating. Some of us are piecing evidence together. Some of us, it's everywhere. Everybody, not just in Ghana, is rallying behind Daniel.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Good. Folks, we've been speaking to Madam Makin, Emma Makin. Now, ono where oye kasama for the ma ebusuya. Branti here. Daniel Quentin, also known as Samachi, says here, war police for Ekukumi or Casadamon. Of course, once in some can be zips and Sempia, Nina and all shame one that say, a minimum be Bresugu maintained that. And Tinata so moon here, Busiana Crano, some bebim, assuming say Busiana be Mombe by us a cranoa, and Yaman Iguabontained that. So then, a Brantin Rebecca says, so a fence a fugitive was a flight risk or whatever, no, Mugakana. Nina into me akrisa. Now, Emma, afi ye be wrap up na when you quite akono. Dear now, person the two Homa Ghana for the President John Mahama is listening. Everybody is watching him near there. What do you want to tell the state parastatals?
What I want to say is that it is important for every citizen of Ghana to have a fair hearing, no matter what, no matter how grievous the charge is. Everybody, every citizen deserves a fair hearing. And also, we should be looking at motive.
Yeah.
Why does anybody want this man gone? We should all be looking, and in time, we'll be able to piece everything together. But Daniel doesn't have anything against Ahmed. They were friends, and so he doesn't have any motive to want the man dead.
Munya at a point be saying to Kobe slight feud because between Ono, the three of them, Anas and then Ahmed. Bibisa APA prior to Sobe resign Efrono. And then there was also audio recording the APA. Suppose that me baby mama no so I Tiger Eye Honma Wabana or can say Mitre. What is our audio?
I'm Bachomati.
What do you make of our audio?
I mean, it's 100%. It was clear that she was the one speaking and he was the one speaking. And she's saying exactly what has gone on behind his back. So, I mean, everybody should really open their eyes. This man was crying out in 2019, asking for help. Nobody did anything about it. Now, 5 to 6 years down the line, he's now paying for it.
5, 6 years now?
Yes, it's 2019 to 2025. It's about...
Quite a significant. So, then, all of a sudden, police wake up and says, 1 hour here, the fence saying, prime suspect now.
Exactly.
Folks, mene mami ma besi ha say na ya hwe. Ahombo ben na sisi amwom pa. So for with the hope say obetimi pia bonten.
Of course.
Video or sir.
Of course. And so to me pia na this charges there. It's strange. It's strange. I mean, I'm sure any legal mind looking at what is in front of us in the charge sheet, is that enough to charge someone with such a capital offense as murder? Is that enough? And now that the narrative is out, this man will never be the same again. He will never be the same again. So we have to be very measured in the way we do our things.
Yeah. God, folks, would it be back home? And I'm sure said,
Patch me.
where you on? God one. Yene Mami Emma any in common. I'm sure so one person you can make all the deductions, add 1 to 1. The way we say Mami Asama all came Nina Ghana police for person muhune kreno. There's so muhune kreno by now. Now I again believe that if the police hierarchy and so person more contacted Mami Emma, you bet me assist on my contact and for any other information there, will meet me either. They are supporting police from when they are supporting police from because and your manwa yatete so far and all of that. Ushe bibia police if we so justice say oh now to read him no far quiet no far here any other day ni nara no and shada any day in 3 years. Folks, Yami Aduma Wednesday, I'll come your way. Now Wednesday no Wednesday Ebabe Yadi, I won't tell you the Ebabe. Wednesday Ebabe Yadi Adibia Meye no Monday no. Ebabe twas Wednesday. Now for ya domwesu come more expose eba. But then main conclude na main kanchira mo say ayo ra Kennedy Agyapong side honso ye monitor ni oma papa. And she said the spirited pushback na the lawyers and they are better on it as a case in a become extra and then a ben some fufurupi. Friends Daniel Owusu Cranton so nyame adoma ye monitor grants and hoping say 1st of April and it's a be monitor the course or a course or courtroom then